And here we are now. So just again, pretty treacherous getting to this point for a lot of the drivers. And the lights are on, and now they're extinguished. Here we go. Dean Carney will lead Rome. Carpenter will give chase. Dean Carney initiates into that first outside zone, our first official battle of the weekend. Dean Carney, a little bit of straightening there as he takes out that front clip. Now comes into the outside zone 3, that big sweep of Rome, jumping right to the side of Dean Carney. And look at that, gets lost in the smoke, absolutely bathing in it. And crossing the finish line, doesn't look like he has any gremlins right now, Dean Carney, but man, Rome was eyeballs deep in smoke.
And he did a great job navigating through it, especially on that last left-hand sweeper. Let's take a look at the beginning here. I think Dean gets a pretty good jump, goes to center court there, comes back around, nice little snap, fills that outside zone through the inside clip with good angle there, has a slight little adjustment, but he does reach out to the inside of outside zone 2 and 3. This is where we see that surge from Rome as he tries to catch up here and dive back inside, but right there he gets caught in the smoke line, and we saw yesterday a lot people going off course when that happens. He was able to drive through it, use that muscle memory, and get through unscathed. So he fell back a little bit, gained some proximity. Look, how he really did cut the line through the center there. We see that pretty exaggerated when we look at the drone shot. Really shows you that perspective, and that part of the course, no matter which way we've run it historically, has always been, I think, one of the most challenging areas for drivers in the chase position to get the line right, and it's proven to be that way this year as well.
What's the consensus you've heard in regards to the double headers from the drivers?
I think, I don't know if I have a consensus on it. I think obviously, it was really about like saving the season, right? And really the doubleheaders pretty much being the only way to do it. So in that sense, I think people are for it.
Yeah.
If the option was to not have a season. I think we also knew coming into it that attrition could certainly play a role. I think that cars have actually held up pretty well, though, that there has been some attrition. Whether or not that's because of the double headers or just naturally happening, it's hard to really say. But, I think in this kind of year, you can try things that you would never have in any other kind of year.
I like that. There you go. Here we go. Rome out front. Dean Carney. Oh, wow, look at that. Massive initiation from Rome, but then it snaps back as Dean Carney might be favoring him there, Ryan. That was a very aggressive initiation by Rome. He did not, kind of corrected going to that first front clip, but Dean Carney, I think he was chomping at the bit and handled that very well. That could have gone south really quick for both the drivers. But watch this initiation by Rome. Does he hold on to it? I was looking at the monitor as well as they passed right in front of the judges' stand in our announcer's booth. Let's look at it again.
Well, I think your first intuition is right. He had a big snap here, but it rubber band back, and Dean had to make an adjustment there. I thought his adjustment that he made was really awesome, actually. There it is again. So as soon as Dean sees that he has to make that adjustment, he doesn't force a big air. He's starting now to utilize the lead driver as a moving clipping point. Now, once he gets in the pocket here, he really keeps the pressure on. See, Dean was thinking that Rome was going to go a little bit farther, and that could have resulted in contact. But as he starts getting back into the chase position now, he's going to lock in right here and keep the pressure on through this left-hand sweeper. Does a great job there not to fall back. So I think the judges will give an advantage to Dean on the adjustment that he made and a mistake for Rome on the initiation.
And I believe that's the case. We'll get Ryan Lontaine on the headsets and elaborate here as Dean Carney gets the win.
But you never want to have a mechanical like that knock you out early in competition.
All right, Kazuya Taguchi, another VR-powered chassis here. This S15 throws it in. Let's see what we got. Now brings it around. Nice job by Taguchi. Out to that second outer zone, into the third. And Ken Gushi getting rowdy, getting to the side of the up garage S chassis. No engine problems right now at all from either driver, and especially Ken Gushi.
Yeah, and once again, you can see that the run-up is forcing drivers to really push hard right when that light goes
from jump
off. And you see Gushi was trying to figure out where do I get settled here? And as Taguchi goes out to that outside zone, Gushi was not able to follow him out there. So Taguchi does a good job on the second and third outside zone. Gushi now starts locking it in. Here it is coming through that power alley once again. You can see Ken was not able to follow Taguchi out to that outside zone. Made it tough for him there. But now he's starting to pick up the pace. But some mistakes made in the chase that he'll have to make up in his lead run.
All right, as we could see Vaughn Gittin Jr. back there in the wings. He's going against Nelson. Now Ken Gushi will lead against Kazuya Taguchi. Making sure the cameras are all good, locked and loaded. And we're going to throw it down. Let's see what kind of happy little clouds this Toyota Supra of Ken Gushi is going to flare up. Nothing but happy little accidents. Here we go, Ken Gushi out front. Kazuya Taguchi in the chase. A little slow trickle there as they throw it in. Ryan, exactly what you're talking about, that slow run-up, or the short run-up, does make them definitely compact as far as tandem runs. Oh, Taguchi getting aggressive. Jumps up to the side, but then has to back off. Kind of going back and forth. We'd like to see him consistent all the way through. And Taguchi, I think, gained that ground, especially because of that decel area. So Ken, you know, again, allowed to check up just a little, not check up, but slow down, getting set up for that outside zone 3 and that big sweeper.
Well, Taguchi certainly pulling some good grip out of that car. The initiation by Ken gets him deep into that outside zone. Taguchi didn't follow him completely. Now let's see how Ken gets into outside zone 2. He kind of lost a little bit of angle there in outside zone 2, leaving inside clip number 1. Taguchi tucks up on the inside, tries to start closing the door here. Good proximity towards the end as Gushi goes through the finish line. Big smoke cloud that Taguchi had to drive through. Here it is again. You can see that also Taguchi was a little bit shallower on the line, but not as extreme as Ken in his chase run. So the judges got their work cut out for him here in this battle as these drivers go back and forth. And does somebody have the edge overall?
We will find out. Let's see what we got. Do we have a victor? Slide them one way or the other for Gushi or Kazuya Taguchi. You can see the up garage lid outside of the vehicle there. Kazuya Taguchi. The up garage GT radial S chassis. Slide him left for Taguchi, right for Ken Gushi. Kazuya Taguchi gets 1 and 2. Kazuya Taguchi gets the win unanimously. We'll be going against Vaughn Gittin Jr. piloting that Monster Energy Nitto Tire Ford Performance Mustang RTR Spec 5D. Tyler Nelson with that Shelby Mustang. Vaughn Gittin Jr. initiating into the outside zone. Let's see how he handles that power rally. You can see Vaughn Gittin Jr. talks about how the car hooks up, and here comes Tyler Nelson. Getting to the side of Vaughn Gittin Jr. Lunges into the outside zone 3, now into outside zone 4. Fills all of it, and Tyler Nelson cuts through the smoke. Ryan, again, Tyler, we've seen him in previous rounds. Very aggressive, has gotten to the side of many doors and bashed and done some damage, so maybe pump back here a little bit as looks good.
And got close again, didn't he? You can see Vaughn really deep into outside zone 1. Nelson trying to reach out to outside zone 2, does a pretty good job there, but comes in super fast, almost makes contact with Vaughn, leaving outside zone 3. Vaughn is able to stay in it. Here it is through the power alley again, surging forward, gets super close, almost exceeds the front 2 wheels of Vaughn. But now he's able to kind of start trying to reel him in, but he's down on the angle there. He really had to shallow up to gain that proximity toward the end. As we take a look at the drone, you'll see that surging attack again. He does forego that outside zone 3, and so we'll see a few deductions from him in the chase position. It was a pretty clean, good lead run from Vaughn overall. We know that that has paid dividends for him in his past 2 wins, is going out there and solidifying that solid lead run, letting that chase driver work as hard as they can.
You know, the variations here is just you have a Formula Drift rookie in Tyler Nelson. He wants it, he's aggressive. The veteran driver of Vaughn Gittin Jr., again, coming off those victories, momentum, all that, but I would say just consistency. You know, you see Vaughn, how he's led, and we'll see if he follows suit. And what I'm claiming here is just that fluidity. I think that's really what the judge are looking for, especially in the chase, not lunging back and forth, keeping it consistent all the way through. As Tyler Nelson initiates in that first outside zone, you see it almost like Rome Charpentier, how he threw it in, had to back off a little bit, but Tyler Nelson very aggressive. So you can see Vaughn has that controlled, calculated chase there. It's much more fluid. It's not herky-jerky, you know, comes in and delivers.
Vaughn did a good job of adjusting to that big flick, and you're right, like Rome also did a big flick, but he rubber banded back. Nelson was actually able to pull it off a little bit better. but Vaughn was able to make the adjustments needed to stay in the pocket. Let's take a look at it. Vaughn kind of eyes him up. Nelson goes a little bit wide on outside zone 1. Big angle there, but Vaughn backs off for a second. Now he's starting to follow him into outside zone 2. He's a little bit shallower than we would like to see him there in that position, but this is where he starts pouring it on. He finds a good opportunity to attack here, and you have to remember, lead versus lead, chase versus chase, and who did better overall. It looks like Vaughn could potentially edge this one out as he was able to make the better adjustments, perhaps had the better overall lead. As you can see, a tire drop there, almost 2. The judges will allow you to go out to the rumble strips as the lead driver without getting a deduction, but he did drop a tire there, so a number of things for the judges to factor in.
What's interesting enough, the observation I'm seeing is Tyler almost has a, early Vaughn Gittin Jr. style. If you can remember Vaughn, prior to him winning the championship, he would just be a little more volatile is the best way I could describe it, but now getting more refined, more seat time, that just contributes to the fluidity. You can still have that X factor. You see that with certain drivers, like your Matt Field, even your Chelsea Nofa, who's his RTR teammate. But I think Tyler, more seat time, getting familiar with the vehicle, getting familiar with other drivers, I think he's definitely a rising star. So Vaughn Gittin Jr. officially gets the win. It is unanimous. Can leave the start line before the lead vehicle, just to pace themselves and make sure they got good proximity. Fluid initiation there from Matt Field. Look at Reeder jumping to the side. Matt Field with massive angle here. Oh boy, Reeder rips up. Look at that thing, just absolutely rip up and exceed those front tires.
Reeder, man.
You know what? I was claiming that Field was going to get aggressive and Reeder was going to be smooth. Quite the contrary and the exact opposite of what I was claiming.
Yeah, he did a good job actually saving the car there because there was so much angle put in. He surged actually past the front 2 wheels. Let's take a look at Field out front. Nice consistent line, starts pouring the angle on outside zone 2, and that's where Reeder really comes up really hard. We'll take a look at it again. This is coming through the power alley right here. He's going to come up on the backside. Massive flick into outside zone 3, but with that angle, he comes off outside zone 3. Then he has to make a big adjustment to get back into the pocket against Matt Field. Really lucky he didn't actually hit Matt there, and that the timing was enough in his favor to avoid that. So it was a solid lead run from Matt Field. Looked pretty good overall. Let's see how he gets out to outside zone 2. Right at the edge there, Reeder has to cut a little bit close, and there's that big angle as he rotates from outside zone 3 into the left-hand sweeper.
Hey, Rip, what'd you think of that run, bud?
It was pretty good.
That's it. You know what? Again, I just think we're painting a beautiful picture here of what's going on.
Need more time to put my outfit on.
Is that? No, I think you look great. You look great. I mean, I think I'm just happy right now. Ma'am, I do declare. All right, here we go. Let's alternate the order here. Travis Reeder out front. Matt Field chase position. Like we said, not a big run up there. Launches him up as Reeder works the car out to that second outside zone. Matt Field almost emulates what Reeder did. Big angle there from Reeder, bringing all the way into that outside zone and across the finish line. This is going to be a tough one to call, Ryan, because both of them had just some little nuances, kind of, exceeding the front tires or different things. As let's take a look at here again. I got this there, Rip. You go ahead and chill there, buddy.
Yeah, no, it was really interesting what happened here. Let's take a look at Reeder out front. See that correction right there going into outside zone 2, and that is a pretty sizable mistake in the lead. Remember, clear air out front. And Matt Field was able to take advantage of it. You can see Matt Field was back a little bit as he tried to attack here on the inside. Reeder, so much grip in that car. The car is so fast. Remember, he knows this car so well, and he performs awesome in it, but a couple mistakes there may cost him overall.
You can see an overhead shot there. Reeder with that correction to get it out to that second outside zone. You can see Field. It looked like, he was going to kind of take that similar line to Reeder in the chase position, but ended up kind of pedaling back just a little bit. No pun intended, using the pedal commander there. Slowing her down, getting her dialed. Here we go. Slide him left for Field, right for Travis Reeder. Looks like Chris Ewell says Matt Field, as does Ryan Lontaine, and Brian Eggert says, there you go. Masayama lead, Aasbo giving chase. See what you got, fellas. Masayama out front. Flicks it into that first outside zone. Some gap already being established, but no. Aasbo trying to close the door on him. getting a little closer in proximity. Nice job there, Masayama. Really good, consistent, fluid lines, Ryan. Masayama not making it easy for Aasbo at all, and I would say Masayama might even have a little bit of an advantage here.
That was a great run by Masayama. We talked about really looking for, did he make the changes in the overall grip of the vehicle to get that speed but still maintain big line? And look how fast he shoots out of outside zone 1. When was the last time you've seen Aasbo even a half a car back from a driver? He's usually door to door. This is still a pretty good chase run from Aasbo, but it's not tucked up on the inside and keeping the pressure on that you would want to have to make it a clear-cut victory. Masayama fills outside zone 2 and 3 really well while maintaining really solid and smooth driving out front. Let's see how he does on outside zone 4. Gets into it at the right time, pulls it all the way through the finish line. So there is an opportunity here for a potential big upset depending on how the next half of this battle goes.
Yeah, I mean, again, Freddie got the win at round 1. And here he is now going against Masayama. Freddie currently sits at 3rd in points, 236 points, Ryan. All right, let's alternate the order here. Frederick Aasbo out front. Masayama in the chase position. Oh, big initiation by, oh man. And then just like that, Ryan, Masayama had the momentum, but I believe if Frederick keeps this, oh, and look at that, insult to injury. Masayama goes off in that sweeper into outside zone 3, and by now Japan S15, unfortunately, goes off course.
Yeah, that was the announcer's curse there, wasn't it?
Yep.
We had the door open, or rather Masayama had the door open to pull out something big here against Frederick Aasbo, but it's pretty clear that he was not able to put up the fight needed here to take it to Aasbo. Aasbo gets a great jump. There's Masayama, overextended out of outside zone 1. At this point, it's pretty much over because the judges would consider that an incomplete. And then we would focus our attention on Frederick Aasbo because he would need to finish the run. And as you said, to add insult to injury here, he goes off course completely, really falling apart here. So tough break for Masayama after a very incredible and fast lead run that saw him pulling a little bit of a gap on Frederick Aasbo.
Yeah, so Freddie will get the win here unofficially, and then we'll make it official. You can see Frederick continue on through the course. And unfortunately for Masayama, oh, look at that. You can see that back right, no tire on there. You can see the 2 Toyota models there, the Tundra and the Tacoma. These are the Nightshade Edition. The 2021 Tacoma Nightshade Special Edition is built off the limited grade, offering the perfect combo of luxury and functionality. For the past 15 years, Tacoma has been recognized by Kelley Blue Book as the best-selling midsize pickup truck in the segment. Tacoma has been an off-road icon for more than 25 years and considered a master of all trades with available features such as crawl control, multi-terrain select, and hill start assist control. Tacoma will give you the confidence to take on even the toughest terrains. The brand new 2021 Tacoma Nightshade and the Tundra Nightshade. Speaking of the Tundra, assembled right here in Texas at Toyota Motor Manufacturing, San Antonio, available 10,200 foot-pounds of towing capacity. Tundra's 346 cubic inch I-Force 5.7 V8 produces 381 horsepower and 401 pound-foot of torque. And there it is, let's make it official. Frederick Aasbo gets the win. Here we go. Jeff Jones out front, Farook in the chase position. Got a clean start, no cones hit. Going in that first outside zone, looks like Farook a little hesitant there on initiation in the chase. Now into the 3rd outside zone through that sweeper. Jeff Jones pulling away from Farook. Oh, and Farook looks like he corrects, he straightens out mid of that sweeping turn, Ryan.
Yeah, we saw Farook fall victim to what was something of a trend yesterday for some of the Pro 2 guys, and that's that transition from outside zone 3 into the left-hand sweeper. Jones, nice rolling into initiation here, coming into inside clip number 1. Good momentum as he fills outside zone 2 completely. Farook cuts it short, comes up really tight, and then has to back off here, straightens out and loses ground pretty dramatically there to Jeff Jones. Here's Farook coming through the smoke line. You see that surging attack, and he's gonna fall back. We lose him out of frame. and that's because he really was way back behind, had to catch up there, reinitiate, and unfortunately, that's going to be a big mistake.
All right, let's alternate the order here. Farook will lead. Farook will lead, and Jeff Jones will give chase. And away they go. Farook really needs to put something down here in order to potentially advance on. Jeff Jones going to apply the pressure. Good transition into that first front flip. Now coming into outside zone 3. You can see Jeff Jones, he lunges forward. Then Farook pulls away. Middle line now working to the outside zone 4. Unfortunately for Farook, Jeff Jones was right there. I believe, unfortunately for Farook, that could be the end of today's action, but this is a doubleheader, so we do have tomorrow. Let's take a look at it again here, Ryan. Watch this initiation here by Farook.
Yeah, now when I first saw it, it looked like he really didn't speed up to the first turn in an orthodox way that you would expect. Jones makes an adjustment. He's able to stay pretty close to him on outside zone 2. Coming through the smoke line here, he's still a presence in the chase position here, not letting Farook get away. This is where we start to see a little bit of separation here going into outside zone 4. But Jeff Jones did enough there in the chase position to show a difference between the two chase runs. In Jeff Jones's lead, overall, he really didn't really make too many mistakes. So as we look at Farook's lead run, we'll do the side-by-side, or we'll do the comparison here. As you said, Jared, I think the edge is going to go to Jeff Jones overall just because of the extremity of the mistake made by Farook in his chase position.
All right. Waiting for the judge's verdict to come on in. Looks like they're taking a look at it again as far as initiation. So the judge is analyzing the second run. Bit of a tank slapper there in the initiation there from Farook. Let's take a look. Which way does it slide? Slide him left for Jeff Jones. Jeff Jones gets the win and moves on to the top 16. Jones in it to win it, unfortunately. Big Chevy V8s. Here we go. Odie Bakchis, what do you got? Going against Ryan Litteral. He's getting this. Odie Bakchis past that into the outside zone. Ryan Litteral tit for tat there. Exactly same time. Transitioning in the outside zone 3. Got that power on deck. Brings it outside zone 4. And Litteral brings it home with that power stop brakes. GT radial. Nissan Z.
Well, we saw Odie Bakchis out of Seattle, after Seattle, change the front of the vehicle after big damage. Looks like he's trying to pick up where he started off early season. Gets a good jump there, goes out wide to outside zone 2. Ryan Litteral keeping it close though. Good transition by Litteral behind him. Tries to get into the pocket. Here's Odie reaching from outside zone 3 into 4. And here it is coming through the power alley once again as Litteral tries to hunt him down. Trying to dive in here on outside zone 3. Take advantage of gaining some proximity, but Odie doesn't let him. Here comes Litteral once again on that surge, but a little bit less angle there the last few feet of the course. So good battle there between Ryan Litteral and Odie Bakchis. Odie looking for his first championship, has been very close the past couple of years. Is this the opportunity, the year that he can pull it out? 4 rounds left to go over 4 days, over 3 weeks.
Yeah, right.
It's all going to happen then.
All the numbers, crunching the numbers. Odie currently sitting in 6th overall in the point standings. Ryan Litteral will lead Odie Bakchis at Falcon Tires Vortex Supercharged LS S15. Litteral out of the gate. Rolling in that first outside zone. Initiate. Past that front foot. Ryan Litteral really gripping up, man. Those GT radials hooking up, and there goes Odie Bakchis to the door of Litteral. You can see him great proximity there. Throw some more angle at it. I think he's really got a valiant effort here. Woo-wee! Odie, it just over the years is just absolutely just more comfortable with where he's at, and just his chase runs are some of the best.
I think he has become one of the top chase drivers in the world, hands down, and he showed a bit of it there. And, you know, hearkening back to Seattle, Jared, I was just thinking about it. I remember we pulled data off that car. The crash that he had measured around 8 Gs.
Wow.
And so he is not afraid, even on a course where there's no walls here, to come back and not let that hamper him. He's showing strong resurgence here overall and tenacity to try and take out a win here, a much needed win in the top 32 against a formidable competitor like Ryan Litteral. You can see Litteral out front doing pretty much what he needs to do here, getting out to outside zone 2 in a deep way. Odie following through the smoke line, transitioning, getting up in the pocket here, keeping the pressure on, leading into outside zone 4, and giving us a great bit of tandem here. And that could not happen without a solid lead run by Ryan Litteral, so great job by both competitors.
All right. The culmination of 2 runs comes to this. Looks like the judges are requesting the BC Racing custom coilover side by side. BC Racing, go for gold.
Culmination.
Culmination, that's right. You like that word?
So here we go. Odie on the left in the lead, Litteral in the right. You saw Odie extend past that first outside zone with big angle, then get back on it. The chase run looks strong by Odie. Litteral looking good out front in his lead run. Odie really made a statement there towards the end from outside zone 4 in his chase run with the proximity. Is it enough to edge it out here in 32? Let's find out from the judges.
And waiting for the outcome here. Do you see any other replays? We'll see if it's lit or if it's Odie. And looks like the judge's verdict is in. Slide him left for Odie, right for Litteral. One more time from Chris Yule. Ryan Lantain says Odie Bakchis, and Brian Eggert says Odie Bakchis gets the win. Instead of having some issues. Well, here's his Toyota Racing teammate. We saw them in the finals at round 1. That's what they wanted. And Tuerck comes out sliding in that gun out. Toyota Racing, Toyota Corolla hatchback on Ditto tires. And look at this, the reintroduction of Kyle the Menace Mohan. Haven't seen him at all this season. Woo! And then he jumps back up. The American Ethanol. It's all about the green, the bio. Have you ever seen a 3-rotor run? You know, bio. You ever seen a bio? You can see right there, got some reusable lubricants as he spins out, and Ryan Tuerck continues on through the course, and obviously that's going to be a major advantage for Tuerck. Yeah,
as you said, sliding out of that first, out of the start line there, and Kyle Mohan looking to make his presence felt here after missing the first couple rounds. Coming into this second outside, the third outside zone from the second. He gets tight on Ryan Tuerck, has to back off, and then is not able to hold the angle there. Now let's take a look. Remember, this is our second decel zone coming into outside zone 3 right there. So looks like Mohan was just kind of surging a little bit more than he should have in that decel zone area, and then had to back off and was not able to hold that angle through. So Ryan Tuerck, at least at first pass, looks like he's got a big advantage here as we wait for Kyle Mohan to get to the line.
Yeah, I know Kyle, you know, taking a hiatus there early part of the year, first part of the season, I should say, but comes back and it's like, oh, cool, there you go against our current points leader, Ryan Tuerck.
Yeah, and that's definitely a tall order, no question about it. These guys have been stepping up the driving round by round, adjusting to all the different circumstances that come their way, and especially what we saw in Seattle with the, you know, rain one day, then it gets dry, then more rain, it's cold. So tough challenges to deal with.
All right, looks like we got a door open here on Ryan Tuerck. And here's what happened here. I don't think there was any contact, was there, Ryan? I mean,
well, I think they're looking at Tuerck, and remember, this second outside zone, or the third outside zone right here, is a decel area. It's in that area there. This is a close look. Now, it's really, I think, now you're starting to see the smoke line come back on from Tuerck, so I think that that's probably going to be okay, but I believe that's what they're looking at is, did he decel too long, or was it a fine?
All right, looks like everything's checking out all right. Ryan Tuerck. Looks like they're inspecting his vehicle, and we will. Yeah, judges want to take a look at this again here. So you see Ryan Tuerck, big angle in that second outside zone, dipping that tire.
So that's a decel. You can decel there, and that's he's back on throttle there. So I'm personally, I don't know what exactly they're looking for there. Maybe we
can contact.
I see a thumbs up now.
Ryan Lantain, were you looking for contact, or was there contact? Okay. Okay, so yeah, just the judges were looking. It looked like the attitude of the vehicle did get slightly disrupted, but not too volatile. But I bet a lot of that had to be re-entering the track after kind of dipping the tire off.
So to clip,
making sure that Ryan didn't decel improperly. Copy that. And so kind of a combination of all things. Decel, off track, dip that tire, contact made. Was the decel kosher? Was it good? All right. Well, find out. Basically, there was slight contact. They did say there is a slight mark on the driver's door of Ryan Tuerck, which would mean that I assume Kyle Mohan's front right got into him just a little bit. So that first outside zone, Kyle Mohan transitions past that front clip. Now coming to that second outside zone through the power alley into the third and the big sweeper. Now Ryan Tuerck looks like he's pedaling back. Now he's going to jump to the side of him and brings it all the way through the finish line. Ryan, looks like Tuerck was kind of like, I'll give myself a little bit of room here.
Yeah, I think he and his spotter were conferring that the mistake made by Kyle Mohan was indeed Kyle's mistake and not anything to do with Ryan. And that being the case, that means it would be an incomplete for Kyle. So it would be justified for Tuerck to stay back a little bit, not put himself at an unnecessary risk here against Mohan, but still keep the pressure on, make sure that he doesn't get an inactive chase. And obviously he didn't do that, so this should be an easy victory here into the top 16.
All right, let's see what comes out. Yeah, so slide him left for Ryan Tuerck, right for Kyle Mohan, and there we go. Ryan Tuerck gets the win and advances on into the top 16. So Dai Yoshihara put the brand new 2021 BRZ headlights in there. Looking good, feeling right. Throwing it in, past that front clip. Dan Burkett center punches it. Dai Yoshihara comes out of that second outside zone into the third. See Dan Burkett hungry, chomping at the bit, but Dai Yoshihara taking that wide sweeping line. Absolute textbook run there from Dai Yoshihara.
Yeah, and the smoothness that he's been driving this year has been amazing. And remember, he also had a really hard hit in Seattle. So coming back and having the confidence here to drive on this course, it's basically full throttle the entire way, is saying quite a bit of his driving prowess. We're starting to see some tendencies here from some drivers before they get to outside zone 3 in that chase position, kind of missing it, surging forward, trying to get in the pocket, gain that proximity, but not hitting outside zone 3. And you can see right there, Dan Burkett forgoes it to gain proximity, but then he's still on a much lower line. Now he starts getting back up on a better line, but he's not able to gain that proximity. So we see Dai from above. Look at the angle on outside zone 2, the great transition to outside zone 3. He decels in the correct area. He's back on throttle pretty early past outside zone 3, and then fills outside zone 4 completely as a lead driver. Now that's gonna put him in a good position here to take a tempered approach in the chase position, knowing that Dan really has his work cut out for him here in the lead. Dai still has to keep the pressure on, but he's really just got to focus on making sure that he keeps proximity and let Dan make mistakes as a lead driver, because he laid down a solid lead run there.
Yeah, it was absolutely textbook. We saw Dan Burkett center punch that front clip, you know, exceeding the front 2 tires there. So this is where it gets a little hairy. You know, you really have to just, again, temper that flame, keep it back just a little bit, but save some in the tank, and there you go. So Dai Yoshihara alternates with Dan Burkett. He takes out that front clip, and now into that last outside zone, into the sweeping turn. Dan Burkett looking good out front. Dai Yoshihara not giving him an inch there, especially through the outside zone 4 run.
Yeah, that was a bit of a statement there from Dai Yoshihara. He was still very aggressive in the chase position, and looks like he's put himself in a position where a good lead, a great lead, and a solid chase will help you move on. You can see Dan just drops a tire there on outside zone 1. Dai mimicking him to outside zone 2 and really getting deep into that zone with Dan. So this is a great job by Dan. He gets to the edge of outside zone 3, and then right here, the door is open for Dai to keep the pressure on. Dai does hit that inside clip. He was a little bit tight there. But as these mistakes are calculated, one versus the other, you have to take note of who made the lesser mistakes overall, who kept the pressure on, who had the better lead run. And at least at the moment, it looks like that is Dai Yoshihara.
Quickly getting through our top 32. As of right now, might have just cursed it, but just calling it like I see him. And waiting for our judges deliberating on this battle. And you can see Dan Burkett, middle of the line. He does get out there slightly towards the finish line. That drone shot, just the absolute truth serum, isn't it?
Yeah, you really see the way the cars are moving from above in a different kind of way. Especially the lower you get, it's really hard to see kind of the depth perspective. But let's go to the judges' scorecards.
There we go, slide him left for Dai. Yoshihara gets the win. Dai gets the win, taking out Dan Burkett. Was like, thumbs up, here we go. Lights are now on. Dylan Hughes will lead. Castro will give chase. Our final, oh, and look, so something's up with Dylan. I don't think his car is 100%.
Ooh, that,
oh,
if
man.
the light went off and he left the line, that's going to be a problem.
Yeah, that's a major problem.
Unless it was a false start, but unless he left the light early. Oh my gosh, what a heartbreaking situation here.
Oh man, so yeah, so what did we just hear, Ryan?
What I heard, not verbatim, was that it was a clean start. It looks like he either stalled the car or something went wrong with the car. So now it looks like they're going to move him over to the other position. I say that unofficially. I heard that firsthand, but it's really windy up here. So that's what did you hear that?
Yeah, that's what I heard. Basically, clean start, pulled away from the line. And yeah, so Ryan Lontaine, going to go over to you here. What transpired? You saw the lights extinguished, meaning let's go. Dylan began to leave and then stopped.
Yeah, it looks like, well, what we're hearing is maybe the car stalled. I don't know if it's a mechanical issue or if he actually popped the clutch out too fast and actually stalled the car. I'm not quite sure about that yet, but that constitutes an incomplete as the light went off and he was not able to physically leave the line. Anytime there's either a mechanical error or a driver error that occurs on the track once the light goes off, that's the run, unfortunately.
So Dylan Hughes absolutely gutted. So, hey, thanks. Happy Halloween, everybody. Thank you for joining us here. Gonna paint ourselves a nice little picture. And got old Rip here. Just gonna paint a picture of y'all and just everybody stand still before I make all this. Brian, what is your costume? What are you supposed to be there? Brian Eggert, what are you? Brian Lontaine, they look like judges. Real creative guys. Looks like they're Formula Drift judges. But yep, shout out to all y'all watching. Hashtag FDTX. Let everybody know that we got some happy little accidents out here. Chris Yule, Ryan Lontaine, Brian Eggert. There are our judges. Talking with Pat, aka P2.
So there it is. That's official now.
Oh man.
He's on the other side. He's now going to a chase. This is actually really weird. Have we seen this before? Because neither driver did a run.
No.
And they're thinking, okay, I'm leading now, I'm chasing now.
Here, is Dylan able to leave the line here in the chase position? Oh, look at that.
Man, he looks fired up.
He's ticked off. You know what? And it might just be like, oh, snap. Wow. So Dylan gets to the side of the Castro. Castro continues on.
Yeah.
Dude. Just knowing Dylan. Just knowing Dylan, he is pissed, to put it nicely. So, well, you know who's stoked? Jonathan Castro. Jonathan Castro will get the win here, but Dylan Hughes, unfortunately, knocked out. We were talking about just his momentum, getting those back-to-back great eights in Seattle and feeling the flow. And look, you can just see. So there might be something as far as engagement. I mean, I don't think he would just burn the tires like that just for the heck of it. You can see just throws right into it. Ugh, bummer for Dylan. The Dozer Hughes, living up to his name, the Dozer. Throws it in hard, got that headlight trim, got some corner lights as Castro continues on through the course. And that is the culmination of top 32, Ryan. What the remainder of the day, we'll be back here. We have a halftime break, and we'll be back here for top 16. But let's take a look at that bracket once again. Yeah, you're just pulling it up. Thank you so much. So top 16 begins at 2:30. At 2:30. You didn't get my dentist joke yesterday. That's what time you go to the dentist. 2:30.
It took me 3 times.
Yeah, it really did. and yeah. All right, let's make it official. Slide him left for Dylan Hughes, and of course, you know they're going to go right for Jonathan Castro from Dominican Republic, the Judo Metaldom Toyota 86. Jonathan Castro gets the win and moves on into top 16.